As fight night approaches, Valdez's workouts intensify in Guadalajara, a city that carries special significance in a long-running rivalry.
Even though I'm from Nogales, Sonora, and he's from, I believe, Yucatan, we both live in Hermosillo. And funny thing is, we're almost neighbors. We live very close to each other. So we've got the chance to exchange some words. He's mad about the past, that he didn't get to go to Olympics because I was #1 in the division. We never got the chance to fight. Every time he would go to nationals, I was fighting international. So I think that's why he really wants this fight. I busted my ass very hard to become an Olympian, 2-time Olympian, to win every tournament that I could. To let someone say that politics didn't let him go to Olympics, that they favored me, I take that as very offensive because I worked very hard to be #1 in Mexico.
My bad. So I finally got a chance to sit down and watch this episode, the first episode, and I'm going to cover both episodes 1 and 2 in the same video because I'm behind. And we got 4 press conferences today, one of which is the final press conference for Berchelt versus Valdez. And then the next, hopefully, no more than 20 minutes, we're going to talk about the whole card and recap both episodes in real time of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. So at the top here is the date and the time. So you're probably going to see me doing some jump cuts as I'm going to be watching episode 2, which I have not watched yet. This one, I've been skimming through it, but this is the first time I'm sitting here watching it in real time. And right now, if you can see my timestamp, you can't really see it, the contrast. I got to fix the color. Well, it says 1920, dark shit. So let's go to the 1920 mark. Listen to this dark shit. Miguel Berchelt. We're going to talk about all the particulars and go through the semantics. Just give me a minute. 1920. Now listen to this. So you can watch this full episode on the Top Rank on, damn it, let me show you. You can watch it on the Top Rank on ESPN YouTube page. Whatever's going on over there over the last year, and I'm supposed to know this, the last 2 years or so, their digital team is extremely stepped up, especially since they've been on ESPN. So they're releasing a lot of high quality digital content, especially the fighter meetings, in which I love. So you can watch this episode and, of course, all the blood, sweat, and tears and the press conferences and the weigh-ins. By the way, whoever was responsible for removing the paywall for the press conferences, because at one point in time, to watch the top ranked press conferences and the weigh-ins, you had to watch them on ESPN Plus. You had to have, like, like a subscription. I can understand big weigh-ins like Fury or whatever, but yo, like that was some bullshit. So that's what's up. Anyway, moving on. You can watch it on this page. Let me stay on track and go back to the dark shit. Please subscribe. Take your time out. Like the video. Only takes you a couple seconds. This is TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. Oh, let's do this real quick. All right, now listen to this. I want to play it in its entirety. It's only like 1 minute long, but listen to this. And then we're going to talk about the card for a little bit before we talk about the rest of the episode, which I am going to rate A. Am I going to give it an A? I can give it an A. I'm not an A+, but overall, it's way better than I thought it was going to be. Like, this is some classic content right here. But all right, shut up, y'all. Let me shut up. Listen in.
He did so with actions, and that's how he intends to remain there.
Creo que va a ser la victoria más grande de mi carrera. El demostrar que yo pude haber ido a Juegos Olímpicos, que yo siempre fui mejor que él. Y esa noche lo voy a golpear duro. Lo voy a golpear duro con todas mis fuerzas. Estoy preparándome muy fuerte aquí en los mochis para darle un venenito de alacrán que no tiene cura. Y vamos a ver si su quijada resiste estos golpes fuertes del campeón.
Talking about poisoning them and shit. So let's go talk about it. There's a timestamp that's important, but I want to talk about the card a little bit before we go over to there. So let's go full screen. Miguel Berchelt defended his WBC super feather 130-pound WBC title against Oscar Valdez, former champion at 126 pounds. Gabriel Flores versus Jayson Velez. Remember, Oscar Valdez's last fight was against Jayson Velez. Esquiva Falcoy, and I'm going to learn how to pronounce his name by fight night, is taking on Alter, the Wolverine, Akavov. I covered Akaval's fight against Billy Joe Saunders, where Billy Joe Saunders looked like shit and could have been a draw in many people's eyes. It happened in some YMCA, well, a leisure center over in the UK. I also covered his fight when he fought Demetrius Andrade. Two highly touted prospects, Elvis Rodriguez and Xander Zayas. Rodriguez against Luis Alberto Barron. Xander Zayas against James Martin. Sonny Canto, cruiserweight, bridgerweight sensation, is on the card also against Waldo Cortez Acosta. Overall, a nice, solid, entertaining card. You're going to see some knockouts. Berchelt, if you don't know, this fight was supposed to take place back in December of 2020. And Oscar Valdez seems to be pissed about that because he was Graham watching or social media watching, basically like, yo, like our fight get canceled and I was seeing you all out in public at parties and shit. What are you doing? In fact, let's go to that timestamp. 15. So basically, Valdez, from what I'm getting, thinks that Berchelt is kind of like jealous of him because he did good in the amateurs and Berchelt didn't, and he think it's like politics. It's a little weird. You know, oh, here it is, right here, 1630. I think it's right here.
I was very disappointed when I heard the news that Oscar Berchelt had gotten COVID. It shocked me, but mostly it got me very mad because I would see pictures of him out in public, out in baseball games, out in charity events, taking pictures with largest crowds with those masks. In my mind, I'm telling to myself, what are you doing? We're supposed to be professionals, and being in a training camp, you're training in a public gym. You're not taking care of yourself. My side of camp, we're testing every 2 to 3 weeks. We're taking care of ourselves. We're sanitizing the gym every day, not going out. You know, we're trying to take care of ourselves just to fight. Losing 2 or 3 months of training over this virus, and it was very unfortunate. Had to go back home with nothing, no belt, no fight, no money, just more debt. This fight is canceled twice already. I don't want a virus to cancel it for the 3rd time. And we know on our side of camp, we're safe. I cannot say the same for Oscar Berchelt. I'm hoping he's taking care of himself this time, takes this virus very seriously, as a professional, as he should be, and let's make this fight happen. Let's not get infected, let's make this fight happen, let's make it for the fans, let's make it for us, let's make it for our family.
So according to a tweet I got from a UK Rob, friend of mine on Twitter, what's going on with Berchelt's visa? Right now, you know, the final press conference is today. The weigh-in is tomorrow. It's 8 a.m. here on the East Coast. The Thursday, the fight's going to be taking place Saturday at 10 p.m. or the card starts at 10 p.m. on regular ESPN. So the question is, what's going on with his visa situation? I mean, Top Rank pretty powerful. So we seen, remember what Bob Barrera was able to do with Diego Chavez or them all them years ago. So I don't think there's going to be any issues with that. My question now is, since I've watched this episode and done a little bit more research, I'm giving Valdez a better chance. I'm not saying he's going to win. I'm having issues saying that he'll be able to withstand what the bigger Berchelt is going to be able to throw at him. And remember, even though it was 4 fights ago, or at 5 fights ago, 6 would be, you know, when was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fights ago, Scott Quigg broke his jaw, you know? So I'm wondering, remember the Adam Lopez fight? I covered that fight, but my memory is shit, by the way. But why those cards look like that? I want to go back and watch highlights, but we don't have the time to get my memory right. I want to say that with Eddie Reynoso, he's teaching him, and Valdez has talked about it in the episode. I guess it's the last timestamp I'll play for this episode. You should go watch it because Valdez goes into detail about, you know, how they were pretty much, you know, circling each other in the amateurs. Berchelt responds to the COVID, you know, like, you know, what he was doing and that he was disappointed himself. So it's a good episode to watch. I'm going to put it down below, both episodes down below in the description box, because we're going to do a long jump cut. until it's 7:43. So we're going to end this portion in about the next 4 minutes or so and do a long jump cut. Well, not for you. It's not going to be like that for me. I'm going to go watch episode 2. So I'm wondering defensively, how is Valdez going to box? Because he don't want to slug it out with the bigger fighter, right? That's going to be dumb. He don't want to end up like Josh Warrington. You dig? So the question I have is, by the way, I guess this is a good time to play the opening. This opening was awesome. My bad. This has to be played.
As expected, and they are excited. And listen to this crowd as they finish the Mexican national anthem.
I think it's 2 minutes. I can't play all of it, maybe a minute.
Throughout the history of boxing, there are parts of the globe where the sport itself transcends its roots to galvanize not just a country, but a national identity, a unified sense of pride, exhibited through its greatest prize fighters.
That top-ranked library is crazy.
It has been said that no nation more embodies this concept than the land south of the border. A place where machismo and gloves go hand in hand, and where only the greatest earn the title of Mexican warrior. 2 words that encompass many styles, but only one relentless mentality. With 33 knockouts and a 37-1 record, few can stake claim to his.
There's been a narrative circulating around on social media, on Twitter, that Top Rank, damn, got Smokey in here. Top Rank doesn't do this for Terrence Crawford, and the narrative is because he's black. Yo, no, that's bullshit. I covered the one where Terrence Crawford did it before Kell Brook, and he was talking about Errol Spence and all that shit. I covered that. So like, that's like, I don't like narratives like that, man. Y'all just be starting shit just to be starting shit. And to be honest, Terrence Crawford is somewhat himself to blame too by being the fucking ball of charisma. So, but anyway, getting back to that clip we were talking about, I'm wondering, see, Eddie Reynoso was given the trainer of the year. Me personally, I believe it should have been Derek James. But I'm thinking like, you know what? When you get trainer of the year, you be cursed. Think about it. Freddie Roach. I'm just thinking of some names off the top of my head. Freddie Roach. Joe Gallagher ain't never been the same. Who else? Did Abel Sanchez get it? What? No, I don't think he did. I guess the point I'm trying to make is I didn't want Derek James to get it, because I'm thinking Eddie Reynoso, he got trainer of the year, and he's starting off with the chance of Oscar Valdez getting beat up. And then who else is going to be next? So I'm wondering, I'm going to be looking and be like, all right, you know what? Like, he better box. If you are better than the amateurs than him, then show it. Now, Berchelt is already saying that he's more suited for professional boxing. He said this in the episode. He's more suited for professional boxing than the amateurs. There's only 3 rounds. He wants to go 12 rounds with Oscar Valdez to punish him, to show like I was better than him this whole time. That's what I'm getting from the episode. Here, let's go right here, the last time stamp, and then we're going to take that jump cut. Nice, 13 minutes. So we should be, hopefully no more than 25 minutes, we'll be able to review both of these episodes. Wait, hurry up, Terrell, come on, shit. The 10-minute mark. Here we are.
With Scott Quigg, when in 2018, even though he retained his title, he broke his jaw in the 5th round.
He got overconfident.
After the Scott Quigg fight, decision was supposed to be made about you need to change. You need a better trainer.
Hey, do me a favor. Take your time out, like the video, help a brother out. We're going to be here on fight night. I have an obligation, a family obligation, but it's looking like I'll be back in time to cover all these fights real time. So I'm going to be covering the Showtime Broner card. I'm going to be covering UFC. I'm going to be covering this card. I'm going to be busy as shit. I'm going to be covering boxing until like 4 and UFC till like 4 a.m. in the morning. So I got you. Fight night, come here. We're going to be here for some brief, via fair use highlights, legal, not trying to trigger nobody, Top Rank, and So, just, all right, rewind back a little bit. Finish the episode.
After the Scott Quigg fight, decision was supposed to be made about you need to change. You need a better trainer. You need someone who could teach you other things. They mentioned Eddie Reynoso, and I said, you know what? I think, out of all of them, I think he's the one. What I most like about Eddie Reynoso is that he told me to be a defensive fighter, you don't have to be a boring fighter.
Sí, realmente es un peleador que cuando lo conectan se enoja y empieza a tirar golpes. Es un peleador que muy valiente, pero más allá de eso hay que tener también pues otras armas. Él tiene desde que nació ese temperamento, me imagino, y en las peleas así lo está demostrando, pero más allá de eso hay que aprender a hacer cosas que te convienen arriba del ring, porque pues valentía la tienes desde que se suben al ring, pero hay que saber cómo atacar, hay que saber cómo defenderse, hay que sacarle más provecho a tus cualidades sin que te golpeen.
This is going to be my 5th fight with Eddie Reynoso, and I think we've been improving, and I plan on showing it this coming fight with Gabriel.
I think I'm going to do this in 2 parts. I think we'll wrap up right here and then go on to episode 2. So I do have to talk about the rankings though, in this video. I think, we're going to do it in 2 parts. I'm going to, not a jump cut. I don't want a 30-minute recap on both of these. Sorry, guys, listen. Just the calls to be the boss. Oh, the winner. See, I was on a Zoom call. Miguel Berchelt and Oscar Valdez had a Zoom call a couple of days ago, and it was fucking 3 hours long. But whatever the case is, I got the chance to ask, well, what is Miguel Berchelt going to do, and how's he feel at the weight? Will he move up? It's looking like he's looking for the money, and where is the money at for him? If he defeats Oscar Valdez and he doesn't get Tank Davis, will there be enough money in to keep him to fight the winner of Frampton versus Herring? Because the winner of that is going to have to fight Shakur Stevens. Is there enough money, or where does Miguel Berchelt move? Go when he goes to 135. And is it correct that he may be a free agent from Top Rank or managerial? What's going on with that? Is there a chance? Somebody enlighten me in the comments. Could he end up with PBC or somewhere else? You would think that if he goes to 135, he might want to stay where he's at, unless, he really, really is gunning for Tank Davis. And they would do that on pay-per-view. Tank Davis versus Berchelt on pay-per-view? Ooh. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to put the pay-per-view notion out there, but I know they can take my money. Ooh. Now, if he's going to stay at 130, then listen, I want Shakur Stevenson to jump the line and be like, yo, fuck the Herring versus Frampton winner. I want you. But they can do some bullshit like they did with the Leo Santa Cruz. Have Tank Davis belt. I was going to say they can have Tank Davis defend both of his belts, but his belt at 135 is bullshit. Everybody know it's the world belt. Like Teofimo, the real champion. It's kind of like the bullshit that's going on with Haney and motherfucking Teofimo. Some bullshit. Well, let's see what he does on Saturday night, and we'll have a better understanding from there. In the meantime, I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. I'm going to put the link to episode 1 down below in the description box. And so I don't get off track, I'm going to put my phone on mute and on vibrate or whatever. And I'm going to watch episode 2, and I'm going to upload these videos back to back, damn it. Shit, we're back on the saddle. Please subscribe, like the video. This is TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com.
I can't see him too late, because if I see him late at night, past 8, then I won't be able to sleep because I get full of adrenaline.